Okay. Anyone have any doubts here until JIRA? So what we have discussed initially, we have discussed about software. Just will quickly revise what are the topics. So let me share my screen. Sino Anna? Hello, Sino Anna? Or Siri? Saag?
Yes, sir.
సార్ ఇప్పుడు మనకి వేరే స్టూడెంట్ రికార్డ్ చేసుకోవడానికి లోకల్ గా
వేరే స్టూడెంట్ చేయడం కాదు, నేను ఇస్తానండి రికార్డింగ్ చేసి.
ఓకే, ఫైన్ ఫైన్ ఫైన్. ఇప్పుడు నేను డెన్ ఇచ్చేదా అలా
నేను ఇచ్చిన ఆల్రెడీ.
మైపాల్, కెన్ యూ మ్యూట్ యువర్ సెల్ఫ్?
సార్
మ్యూట్ చేస్తారా? ఎక్కువ వస్తుంది. Fine then. So just give me a second, I'll share my screen. I'm sharing my screen. So you all can see my screen, right? Can anyone confirm here?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
we'll
sir.
just revise what are all the topics that we have covered in manual testing so far. So initially we have discussed about the software, okay, in the first class. So software and different types of software, okay. So we know what are the different types of software: system software, next programming software, and then application software. These are the three types of software, okay. And also we have discussed about the product. What is software product and what is software project? Okay. So what is software project? Whenever the software application is being developed only for the specific customer, that will be called as a software project. So what is software product? That is quite opposite to the project when it is developing for multiple customers. So when the software application is directly developed for the end users, then that will be called as a software project. And after that, we have seen about software testing. Okay, what is software testing? It is the part of software development process, an activity to detect and identify the defects or bugs in the software application. And the main agenda is to release the quality product to the client. Okay. So, and we have this, why do we need testing? And you all have these topics in your books, right? Whatever we are discussing here. If not, you can just look into this recording. Okay. So software quality, what is software quality? What are the different parameters? Okay. When we call the software application as quality software application, means there will be a few parameters that needs to be taken care before releasing to the product. So if software application will meet all these quality parameters, so whenever the application will not have any bugs, then obviously that should be called as a quality software application. So it should be delivered on time within the budget. It should meet the customer requirements and expectations. So if all these five the software application will meet, means then that will be called as a quality software application. Okay. And we know what is the difference in between error, bug, and failure. So what is error? Incorrect human action. What is meant by human action here? Can someone else speak up here? So here error is mentioned as incorrect human action, right? So what is the incorrect human action here? We all know what is meant by defect, okay? Deviation from expected behavior to the actual behavior while tester is validating the software application functionalities. That we know. And coming to the error. So what is meant by error here? Can someone, answer here?
Incorrect programming done
Yes.
by the developer.
Developers, yes, good. So here incorrect action means that is the programming, okay? All right. Huh?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So error. So obviously error leads to the bugs. Is it?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So after that, we know what is failure. Deviation identified by the end users while using the software application. Once after releasing the software application to the client, whenever an end user or client will be using the software application, if he found any crash or breakdown, okay, major crash or breakdown, then that will be categorized as a failure here. Okay, everyone just listen carefully. We are revising the topics, what we have covered so far. Okay, we'll not get a chance again. Just listen carefully and just stop me if you have any doubts. Okay, it is very, very important class. So, and we know why there will be bugs in a software application. And everyone listen here. Today I'll be revising you all the topics, right? From tomorrow I'll be taking a mock interview. For everyone I'll be taking 5 to 10 minutes. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Yes, just be prepared for all the things. So an interview will be in interview I'll ask the questions indirectly. Okay, now direct ga nenu vachesi what are why there will be bugs in software application. Ila direct questions undavu 10th class students laga. So usually interview will happen by asking indirect questions. I have explained you the format as well in the classes. Okay, now just if you are thorough with the topics what we have covered so far, then you can answer the questions. Okay, so again, why there will be bugs in the software applications? So what is the reason for the bugs in software application? What is the major reason here among these 5? The major reason here is programming error leads to the bugs. Okay, so and also when the software application is very complex in the sense when we have a lot of services involved or a lot of features or functionalities involved in the software application, obviously it is difficult to understand the requirements by the developer or tester. So whenever there is a misunderstanding in analyzing the requirements, so obviously programmer will write the incorrect code. Antena, everyone are following or not? Nitin.
Yes, sir.
So now point make arthamatunda. So here why there will be bugs in the software application. We know errors leads to the bugs, and one more major reason here is software complexity. So what is meant by software complexity here, Bhavani?
Sir?
What is meant by software complexity? Or someone else can answer this. Software complexity. What is meant by software complexity?
Lot of difficulties.
Lot of difficulties, or just whenever there will be lot of features involved in the software application. Already we have taken example as APS RTC application and red bus application. So what is the complex application here among these two?
APS RTC.
APS artist.
Very good. Evaru chepnara answer? Who answered this? So my question here is, we have two applications. One is APS RTC. So APS RTC application will just provides service to book a bus. Okay, only APS RTC buses. Whereas coming to the red bus software application, that particular software application will provide a service to book a bus. Again, there will be different types of buses, APS RTC, TS RTC. Throughout the India, whatever the buses we have, all those buses can be booked inside the red bus software application. And also that provides a service to book the train tickets and rental cabs, each and everything. So which software application is the complex software application here? My question here is, ఏదైతే యూజర్ కి ఎక్కువ సర్వీసెస్ ప్రొవైడ్ చేస్తానని అడగడం లేదు. సో వాట్ ఈస్ ద సాఫ్ట్వేర్ I mean, complex software application here. That is my question. Haripriya?
Red bus.
Yes. Why red bus? Can you justify here?
It has many options,
Many functionalities in
functionalities.
Yes. So while analyzing those functionalities, obviously that will become very difficult. Okay. So that difficulties will cause us this complexities. Okay. That complexity will become a bug at last. You got my point? When someone will ask why there are bugs in software application, then you have to explain all the internal things involved, not only just okay 10th class student like 5 చెప్పేస్తే సరిపోదు. We have to explain the internal logics as well. Okay. So, and again coming to the miscommunication or no communication. So in agile methodology, we have discussed that there will be a good communication in between the team members. Who are all the team members here? Scrum team, development team, testing team, and then Scrum Master. Not Scrum Master, PO team. Okay. So whenever there will be a collaboration or understanding in between these team members, then automatically the quality will improve. There will be no bugs. So whenever there is no communication, obviously that leads to the bugs. And frequent changing in requirements also will lead to bug. Okay, we might miss few functionalities which are adding newly. Okay, and because of that we can see the bugs and lack of skilled testers. So lack of skilled testers means మనం ఇప్పుడు కోర్స్ ప్రాపర్ గా నేర్చుకున్నాం అనుకోండి, మనకు స్కిల్ ఉంటుంది. కోర్స్ ని మధ్య వదిలేస్తే మనం కూడా ఈ కేటగిరీ కిందకి వస్తాం. ఓకేనా? lack of skill tests కిందకి వచ్చేస్తాం. So try to learn everything, okay, so that you will become a skilled tester. Fine. No answers. So, and after that we have seen about software development life cycle. So software development life cycle is nothing but it is a systematic process used by the software industry to design, develop, test, and release the high quality software applications to the client or customer. So the main aim is to produce high quality software application. If we follow proper format or proper procedure, obviously we can able to release the high quality software applications. Even this will be followed across all the industries. Okay, not only software industry. So even to construct a house, we have to follow proper planning, designing, and then construction, and then completion, each and everything. Okay, whenever there is a proper process or planning, we can able to complete easily the work. The work can be completed very easily. Likewise, to develop the software application, we have to follow systematic process. So again, SDLC will be divided into, or it is categorized into 5 types. These major 5 types. Okay, so waterfall methodology, we know here we will just work on one phase or one step. After completing one step, this step output will become the input for next step. Each and everyone listen very carefully here. Okay, so this after, I mean, while working on designing the software application, we will just work on focus on this only. We will never focus on all other remaining phases. We'll just focus on this system design. System designing in the sense here, what is meant by system designing here? Manjusha, what is system here?
Sir,
What is meant by system here? System design and చెప్తున్నాను కదా. What is meant by system? What system indicates here?
the work.
No. My question here is system design. Okay, so we know what is meant by designing. Okay, what is system here? Others, can anyone answer for system? What is meant by system here? Within.
Sir.
Mali voice break out, na?
No.
Okay, good. So what is meant by system here? What is your understanding at least? System design అనేసి ఉంది కదా. So when we are explaining this to others, if interviewer will ask this waterfall methodology means, then obviously we have to explain all the steps which are all, involved here. So we know what is meant by requirement analysis. As a product owner, we have to analyze, first we have to gather all the requirements from the client, and the gathered requirements will be analyzed initially, and that will be documented as BRS documentation. Yes. What is meant by BRS documentation, Sushma? What is the full form of BRS? Sushma, I haven't joined right today. So what is BRS, Bhavani? What is the full form of BRS?
Bachelor
Bachelor of Science, huh? BRS means? TRS new name, huh? So what is meant by BRS?
Business requirement.
Business requirement specification document. So likewise, what is meant by system design here?
high level design, low level design.
That I know. High level design, low level design. System design means whatever the software application we are going to develop, that will be designed in this phase. System and any just software. Okay, now software application manam system ga pilustuna ikkada. Is that fine? Product ante endi, project ante endi, system ante endi, all together this will be called as a software application design. Okay. So after this, we will work on implementing the software application. Implementing is nothing but development, and development will be done in two parts. One is, what are the different types of development? Nitin?
Backend,
Backend, then
frontend.
front-end. Fine. So what is meant by backend development? Mere answer cheyali, revision
It is
So what we'll do in backend development?
Business logic.
business
Programming.
logics.
All the business logics will be developed here, and that will be linked to the database. That is the job of backend development team. Is it? So what is the job of front-end development team?
Works on user interface.
Good. Wait. Monica, are you able to hear me? Good. So, yeah, go ahead, Manjush. What is meant by front-end development?
It works on user interface.
Yes, usually front-end developers will work on developing the user interface of the software application by using a programming language use చేస్తారు JavaScript, HTML, CSS ఇలాంటి. Yes, these languages will be used, and we will develop the interface of the software application. Again, this backend and front-end will be integrated together to form the software application. Okay, so once software application is developed, that will be pushed to the testing environment. So what is meant by software testing here? Questions ఎవరు అడిగితే వాళ్ళు చెప్పాలి క్విక్ గా ఇంకా. ఓకేనా? హరిప్రియ, what is meant by software testing?
It is a part of software development process done by testers.
Yes.
Validate the software application functionality based on customer requirements.
Very good. Yes. So we know until here. Okay. And after testing, whenever all the requirements, the functionalities are matching with the requirements, then we are good to release the software application. So releasing the software application will be taken care of deployment team. So DevOps team will involve here and they will install the software application into the servers. From servers, everyone can access, as an end user, everyone can access the software application. So after deployment also, usually there will be a maintenance team will be working on, 24/7 available maintenance team. Okay, whenever there is an issue with the software application functionalities, initially they will be looking into that and again they will try to fix. Okay, now maintenance team again will involve all the team members, testers and developers, BAs and the. Okay, clear? So we know what is meant by incremental. Here there is some mismatch. Okay, now incremental is different, iterative is different. Okay, just this is the incremental methodology. Just do not focus on this iterative. Okay, so incremental methodology. What we'll do in incremental methodology, we will develop the software application and release the software application in build by build with limited number of features. In build 1, usually we'll be having a limited number of features. In build 2, few more features. Likewise, we will develop, test and release the development, testing and not implementation here, deployment here. Okay, so there is some issue with this diagram. Do not focus on this. What is there inside your books that you can refer. Okay, you know how iterative and incremental works. Iterative is very similar to the spiral methodology. Here also we will follow iterations. In each and every iteration, we will develop the limited number of features. Okay, and that will be provided for the user for their, what they will do, they'll just work on software application. First, they have to get used to the software application. For that, we are just providing the features. That is the importance of spiral methodology. And coming to the verification and validation methodology. Okay, so what is meant by static testing? Verification and validation methodology lo almost we will get 20 to 30 interview questions. Okay, na? So what is meant by static testing? Can someone answer?
Validating the
documents in the form of reviews and walkthroughs.
Yes, reviews, walkthroughs, and inspection. What documents?
Project.
Yes, BRS, SRS.
Project related report.
Sorry, Nitin. Come again.
Project related documents.
Project related documents. So those will be BRS, CRS or URS. Okay, customer requirement specification or user requirement specification, and high level design documentation. Next, low level design documentation. All this will be taken care in the static testing part, and this correlates with the verification. So what is meant by verification? Verification is nothing but in verification we will write the business requirement specification document, and that will be reviewed internally before proceeding with or before starting the next part. Okay, now even SRS also that will be reviewed internally, and then only we will prepare the high level design documentation. After preparing high level only, this will be reviewed. After that, we will work on developing, creating the low level design document. So in each and every phase, a review will be conducted or walkthrough or inspection. Most probably we'll be conducting the reviews only, because review is nothing but it is kind of formal thing, right? Inspection also we can call that. Okay, so after that, after completing verification part, coding will be, the implementation will start. So we will develop the software application in module by module. Initially, developer will write the software application. Will write the programming for one module. Okay, that programming will be tested initially. Is it? So what is meant by unit testing?
Single module in SSS.
Sorry, Bhavani. Correct cheppandi. Single module.
Yes, and software applications.
Okay, good. So what is meant by unit testing?
Testing the single unit of module of software
Single
application. sir.
module of the software application. The code which is involved in the module that will be tested by the who will test? Who will perform the unit testing?
Developers.
Yes, developers will perform the unit testing. So again, all these modules will be merged together or integrated together. After that, we will again conduct the integration testing. So after performing these two, again, backend and frontend will be integrated. Then we can see the software application. So what is meant by system testing here? Achyuta City. Mautika, what is meant by system testing? Mhm. So what is meant by system testing, Manjusha? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what is meant by system testing? Nitin. So what is meant by system testing, Nitin? Uma, బుక్కులు తిరిగేస్తున్నారా? So what is meant by system testing? If you
Releasing
answer,
the
we can
quality
proceed.
of the software testing, sir.
Testing the quality of the software testing.
These and front end.
Uma, answer here. What is meant by system testing? Unmute చేయండి. Okay. So system testing is nothing but we have to test the functionalities of the software application based on the customer requirements. Usually that will be coming under this black box testing technique. So what is the difference in between black box and white box testing technique? Maipal. So what is the difference in between white box and black box testing technique? Okay. So white box means we have to test the internal logic of the code. So what are the different examples? Unit and integration. And coming to the black box testing technique, we do not need to touch any internal logic of the code. We just have to test the functionalities in the user interface of the software application. That will be coming under the black box testing technique. So after that, after system testing, we have to perform user acceptance testing. So here, what is meant by user acceptance testing? We have to test the software application functionalities based on the customer requirements along with the clients. Clients will be involved here in this UAT. So again, UAT will be divided into how many types? Amruta?
2 types, sir.
Yes, wait. Amruta, UAT is divided into how many types? Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, hello. How many types we are dividing the UAT?
6, sir.
6 types. Good. So what are those?
Review,
Hmm.
walkthrough,
Hmm.
inspection,
Hmm.
quality control, quality assurance,
Hmm. And so, Haripriya, how many types we are going to divide UAT? I mean, we have divided.
2 types, sir. Alpha testing, beta testing.
Okay. So what is meant by alpha testing?
Alpha testing done in test environment, sir.
Hmm.
Beta testing tested in client environment.
What tested?
Software applications, sir.
Software application functionalities
Yes, sir.
along with the end user or client in the testing environment that is known as
Beta
alpha
testing.
beta.
Beta, sir.
Inside the testing environment, I'm saying.
Okay. Alpha testing, sir.
Alpha. Yeah, okay, good. Fine. So that is all about verification and validation part. And we know what is meant by dynamic testing. Dynamic testing is nothing but testing the software application functionalities is known as dynamic testing. Usually, why we are calling that as dynamic? There will be a flow. What is functionality? Here we have to provide input and there will be some operation happen and at last we'll be seeing the output. Is it? So there will be flow here. So for that we are calling all these things as dynamic testing. So Agile here, this is in different format. Agile, we know it is the combination of iterative and incremental methodologies. Okay. So we do not need to focus on this. I have already provided you the PDF, right? Just look into that. We'll come to know. Okay. And quality assurance versus quality control. Okay. So QA is process related. Okay. Whereas QC is the actual testing of the software application. So why we are calling this as process related approach? So quality assurance is there, right? While we are developing the software application, initially we have to focus on writing the documents, okay, and designing the software application. So that will be the process here. So we are calling that as a quality assurance is a process related approach, whereas quality control is testing the software application. So, and you know what is meant by, what are the differences? And we have to focus on building in quality. And in QC already we have built, we are just testing the functionalities and we have to prevent the defects and detecting the defects and process oriented, product oriented, you know, these things, right? Everyone, QA and QC in verification and validation part. I guess that you have in your books. I have just explained you the two differences, the major differences, the important things. ఒక్కరి దగ్గర నుంచి కూడా రెస్పాన్స్ లేదు.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So differences you can look into verification, validation, static testing, dynamic testing. Next, review, walkthrough, inspection. We know what is meant by reviews, walkthroughs. Walkthroughs we have discussed, and actually there is some spelling mistake here. It should be informal. Okay, it is an informal review. Walkthroughs usually. Inspections only will have a formal approach, formal review. Okay, and levels of testing. This levels of testing will be implemented here in the, you have seen in this validation part. Okay, unit, integration, system, and then UAT. We all know what are the different types of unit testing. Next, integration. So here they have mentioned testing individual component of the software application of module. Next, system testing. Testing the integrated system. What is meant by integrated system? The backend and front end is altogether integrated at last. That will be tested in the system testing. Okay, and unit testing, we know different types: basis path, control structure, conditional loops, and mutation testing. What is meant by mutation testing, Manjusha?
So testing the software application with multiple sets of valid and invalid data.
Testing the software application code or program with multiple sets of data. Code ni test chestunam, different types of data, invalid or valid data. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, small correction. And we know integration. Integration is nothing but adding all the modules. Okay, and we know different types of integration testing: incremental or non-incremental. So, and one more thing, I missed this stub and driver. Very, very, very important. So we know what is meant by module. Module is nothing but single component of the software application. So whenever this component is under test, okay, testing jarugutunnappudu we will be calling that as a stub. When we call this as driver, whenever we haven't started the testing, a module inka start cheyaledu. Before starting, that will be called as a driver. So after starting, whenever the testing is in progress, then that will be called as a. You got my point? రేపు అడుగుతాను డెఫినెట్ గా ఇది స్టబ్ కీ డ్రైవర్ కీ
Sir.
డిఫరెన్సెస్. ఓకేనా, whenever the module is, I mean the testing is under progress. ఓకేనా, మాడ్యూల్ టెస్ట్ చేస్తూ ఉంటే దట్ విల్ బి కాల్డ్ as a stub. ఇంకా మనం టెస్టింగ్ స్టార్ట్ చేయలేదు. ఓకే, దట్ విల్ బి కాల్డ్ as a driver here. ఓకే.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So after that, we know different types of integration testings. So system testing, we know UI, functional, non-functional, usability. Okay, white box, black box, and gray box. So we haven't seen this, right? What is meant by gray box? Gray box is nothing but simply, I mean, combining both this black box and the white box will be calling as a gray box testing. Okay. Combinedly, we are calling this as a gray box testing. When someone asks you what is meant by gray box, means gray box is nothing but it is the combination of white box and black box testing techniques. Here we will test the code and also we will test the functionalities in the user interface. Altogether, combinedly, we are calling that as a gray box testing technique. Okay. And black box testing types, GUI, usability, functional, non-functional, all this will be. And GUI, we know checklist. We have, I mean, more number of checklists, right? In your PDFs. Okay, here we just have 6 or 7. I mean 6, I guess. So GUI testing is nothing but testing of the system's graphical user interface. So GUI testing involves checking the screens like control menus. You already know this. So, and also GUI testing, test engineers validate the interface of the software application, such as look and feel. Okay. And whether it is easily understandable or not, that will be tested here in this UI part. And also navigation, shortcut keys. We already have discussed this. No need to go deeper. Okay. And usability, you know, whether they have provided context help menu or not, will be checking in the usability testing. And again, functional testing is divided into these many types. What is meant by database testing? Bhavani, what is meant by database testing?
Strong the data functionality, information's reliability, sir.
So, sorry, voice break. Come again.
All the strong the data functionality, performance and the reliability, sir.
So we have to check the database performance, functionality, and reliability in this database testing. So how we can perform the database testing? Someone else can answer this. By using which language? Rewind in mind. So to perform the database testing, we have to go ahead, Mahesh.
Sir, I don't know, sir.
Okay. I don't know.
So, back-end programming lo use chestam, sir.
No. Programming lo that is fine. High level designing lo manam link chestam database. That is fine. I mean back-end development lo. So I'm asking how to conduct the database testing. By using which language? I've given you the clue as well here. So by using my
data manipulation language.
Good. Data manipulation language. So that will be in the MySQL commands. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, you are going to learn this MySQL language in the next week. Okay. So to conduct the database testing, we have to learn the MySQL language. Without MySQL language, we cannot perform this particular database testing. Okay. This is backend testing actually. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So now you can answer, Manjusha. So by using which language we can test the database performance, reliability, or functionality?
Data manipulating language.
Data manipulation language, and that will be in the MySQL language.
MySQL.
Yes. My structured query language. Each and every word will have a proper meaning here. Okay. We'll explain in upcoming classes. And we know object properties, input domain. Again, this input domain testing means we will be having these two test case design techniques. This is different. You just learn in test case design techniques only. Don't be confused here. Okay. This will be coming under test case design techniques only. Equivalence class partitioning and boundary value analysis. You know how to, do that. So see here, database testing. During database testing, test engineers validate the data with respect to the database. Usually there will be the DML operations, data manipulation language, insert, update, delete, select. So inserting means we have to post, or we have to create the fresh data inside the database. So that is known as inserting. And updating the data which have been already inserted, that will be modified or edited, that comes under update operation. Okay. And delete, we know, just to remove the data from the database. And select, first we have to select the data which we are going to delete or update or some other operations. Confusion ఉంటుంది, but just rewind the things already what we have discussed. So calculations and manipulations testing. I have explained you one example, suitable example for this calculations and manipulation testing. So in which application we can see the calculations and manipulations? Just try to recap the things. So we discussed this in functional testing, right? Calculations and manipulations testing. So I also explained you the example of calculations. So
Example చెప్పాలా sir?
Example, in which application we can see the calculations? Calculator అని చెప్పదండి.
అంటే ఫ్లిప్కార్ట్ లో మనం ఏదైనా ఆర్డర్ ప్లేస్ చేసేటప్పుడు మనకి అమౌంట్ అనేది రీడైరెక్ట్ అవుతుంది కదా, అంటే డిస్ప్లే అవుతుంది కదా ఇన్ని క్వాంటిటీస్ కి ఇంత అమౌంట్ అని.
Yes. Every application, almost each and every application will have a calculations handle. Okay. So that should be handled properly here. That should be checked in the functional testing. And we know what's meant with cookies, sessions, non-functional testing. We all know all these things. Okay. ఎవరికైనా ఎక్కడన్నా డౌట్ ఉంటే అడగండి సార్ నా రివిజన్ కాబట్టి, సో దట్ అగైన్ వి కెన్ డిస్కస్ ద థింగ్స్. ఓకే. Performance testing, security, recovery, compatibility, installation. So installation testing means compatibility చెప్పినా మీకు, what is meant by compatibility testing అనేసి. So we know what is meant by test bed and testing environment, right? Or else testing environment. So it should be the replica of the client's environment, whatever the hardware and software which client is using, that will be installed here in the testing environment. And in that only we have to test the software application functionalities. That is known as testing bed or test environment. Okay. But compatibility is similar to that. Okay. Compatibility is nothing but, in simple words, we can call this as a suitability. Okay. Suitability. Say మనకి ఇందాక డిస్కస్ చేసినట్టుగా, say if we have a Redbus software application, okay, that Redbus software application should be suitable in all the browsers. What are all the different web browsers we have? We will see in our daily usage, right? In daily life. So what are the different web browsers that we'll use? Chrome, Microsoft Edge, next Mozilla Firefox, Opera Mini, different browsers. So say if we have developed one software application, that software application should be suitable in all the browsers. Okay. ఇప్పుడు మనం Redbus ని Chrome లో యూజ్ చేస్తుంటే then it is working fine. If you are using that particular software application in some other browser, means Then if it is not working means, then it should not pass the compatibility testing. Compatibility is nothing but suitability. Whatever the software application we have developed, that should be accessible across all the browsers. Prati browser nunchi we can access. We have to access. Okay, if it is not accessible means, then it is not past the compatibility testing. Anyone have any doubt here? Very, very, very important, compatibility testing. So Nitin, what is meant by compatibility? Nitin, what is meant by compatibility? Haripriya, what is meant by compatibility?
Whatever we are using the software application, it should need to operate in all the browsers.
Good. So compatibility in simple words, that will be called as a suitability. Okay. Suitability unknown. A software application that should suit in all the browsers. Okay. Again, compatibility is divided into three types. Measure these three types. Okay. Now the three types ni operating system compatibility. Already we have discussed about Safari application. Okay, Safari web browser. So that particular Safari web browser should be accessible only in iOS. It should not be accessible in Windows. Okay. So operating system low, for few operating system that will support only a few number of applications. Okay. Android lo Safari support cheyadu, iOS lone support chestadi. Ala different applications untai. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So that is meant by compatibility. And hardware compatibility, we know the configurations testing. Usually there will be the system software, right, where we have all the drivers. Okay. Say if we have connected any mouse, external device of connect just now. If you are using laptop, if we have connected some other mouse, external mouse, then that should get compatible here with this laptop. Okay, now mouse work out nante, it is compatible with the hardware that which we are using, a laptop. If it is not working means, then it is not compatible or suitable. Okay. And installation, when we download the software application into the desktop or mobile phone means, obviously there will be files stored in the C drive. Okay, now whenever any file is missing, okay, then it should not work properly. Say if we have downloaded one game in our laptop PC, okay, so there should be a drivers, different types of files installed in the C drive. Whenever we will not able to see that means, then obviously that application also should not work. Okay. So in the installation testing, whether all the files are being installed or not, that will be checked here in this installation testing. In simple words. Like sanitation, garbage, ad hoc testing. And we know what are the different types of testing terminologies: ad hoc, monkey testing, retesting, regression, sanity, smoke, end-to-end, exploratory. Okay. Globalization also we have discussed, right? Globalization and the localization. We have discussed. No. So I already explained you, right? Say if we have a global application means, then that should support all the time formats, currency formats. Is it? We had a discussion or not on the same?
Yes, sir.
Uma? Hello? We had a discussion or not on globalization and localization? That is my question. We do had a discussion, okay? Just try to remember. Whenever application is called as a global application, then that should be supporting all the currency format. Say if we use Google means, then we can translate the language from one format to another format. Okay. And likewise, we can, translate the things like time from IST, Indian Standard Time, to some other Greenwich Meridian Time, GMT, or else some other formats. Okay. ఇప్పుడు నార్మల్గా యూఎస్ టైంకి మనం if you want to convert means, then directly we can convert that in the Google. So that Google will be called as a globalized or global application, okay, or international application. Whereas coming to the localization, say in few countries they are just using their local application. Best example is Germany and China, and also Japan also. They will just use the software applications in their local languages and local formats only. Okay, in China they will never use this Google application. They have their own software applications. Okay, even to search the data, to translate something, whatever it might be. Okay, and positive testing, negative testing, we know that is simple. And STLC, we have this requirement analysis, test planning, test case design, test case execution, test closure. Okay, environment setup, already I have explained you environment setup. That will comes under test environment setup. Okay, what is environment setup here, Haripriya?
Hardware and software of
Good.
the that are
The client
that are
is
used
using,
by the
that will be the-
customer need to check in the environment.
Okay, good. Environment setup. After that, test plan, contents, you don't need that. And you know what is the difference in between use case, test case, and test scenario? Okay, so what is the difference in between test case and use case? Nitin, what is the difference in between use case and test case? Tomorrow you will be having a mock interview. Okay, so రేపు కూడా mute చేస్తే, that is yours wish. Everyone I am saying. Okay, everyone, ఒకరని కాదు. ఇక్కడ తప్పించుకుంటే రేపు జాబ్ వచ్చింది అనుకోండి, జాబ్కి ఇలా తప్పించుకోలేరు కదా. ఎవరెవరు హెల్ప్ చేసినారు, you have placed into some other company, any other company. So in that company you have to give a client interview. Okay na? So while giving the client interview, you directly have to face the client. ఇలానే మ్యూట్ చేసి దానుకున్నారు అనుకోండి, కష్టం అవుతుంది. So what is meant by test case? What is the difference in between test case and use case, Manjusha? You are able to hear me or not?
Sir, yes, sir.
So what is the difference in between a test case and use case?
Sir,
You are breaking actually. Your voice is breaking. So fine, no problem. There might be some network issue. So, Bhavani, what is the difference in between use case and test case?
So
We'll
use
just-
case use case perform the POC, sir, by
Good,
testing
good.
by testing the team proper by use case, sir. Test case is
చెప్పండి, correct, good.
scenario test and writing scenario, prepare the TC's testing cases.
Yes. So not like that. Use case will be prepared by product owners by analyzing the requirements. Okay, good. So usually that will be having actor, action, and outcome. So actor is the user who is interacting with the software application, whereas action means whatever the flow or operation that we have to perform, that will be done by the user here. Okay, user will perform certain operations on the software application, then we can expect some output. Okay, all these three things we need to mention in the use case, and that will be prepared by the product owners. Very, very important. Whereas test case usually that contains different steps to validate the software application functionalities. And also, if someone asks you what is meant by test case, means you can answer like this: use case, I mean, test case usually contains different steps used to validate the software application functionality. And we will also explain, I will also explain you the test case contents and SNE. What are the different test case contents, Amruta, or test case format?
Okay.
What is meant by test case format or test case contents?
Retesting and regression testing.
Okay. So, Bhavani, what is test case format or test plan contents or test case contents, not test plan contents? So, what are the different columns involved in test case? Simple ga adugutunna mali. So, manaki ఏ columns ఉంటాయి test case రాసేటప్పుడు? First, where we have to start with?
Test case ID.
Good. ఎవరు చెప్పినారు ఇప్పుడు? Who answered this?
Amruta, sir.
Yes, good. So, Amruta. So, first test case ID, after that, correct చెప్పండి. Test case contents ఏమో ఉంటాయంటే, first is
Test case ID, test scenario, test data,
preconditions,
test steps and description,
test steps or description, test description,
expected results and actual results.
After that,
Expected and actual.
After that, test status, test result, bug status, bug ID. Okay, all this will be the, everyone I am saying, very, very, very important interview question. Interviewer will ask you about the test case contents or test case format. Already raskunar me books lo, just try to refer that. Okay, test case contents anna lakapothe next test case format anna okate, or else what are the different columns involved in test case and kuda they will question you. Fine, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yep. Okay, so differences we know. Test scenario. Test scenario is nothing but, I already said you, test scenario will be the high level description of the functionality what we are going to test. Okay, okavela if you have any doubt, just go through the recording, whatever I am saying. Okay, now all these are interview questions. Test scenario means, test scenario is the high level description of the software application or functionality to be tested. That is the test scenario. And we know what is meant by positive test cases, negative test cases, test case design techniques. Okay. This already we have seen earlier in the functional testing, input domain testing, but that is not the correct path. This is the correct path. In test case design techniques only, we will be getting this boundary value analysis and equivalence class partition. Usually, these two particular test case design techniques are used to validate the field values alone. Okay, only field values ni validate cheyadaniki matrame we have to follow this boundary value analysis and the equivalence class partitioning. So, what is meant by boundary value analysis, Haripriya?
Increase the test coverage and decrease the test data.
My question, understand my question. What is meant by boundary value analysis, test cases and technique? Cheppandi, no problem.
Test coverage increase ante
test no. Manaki నేను టెస్ట్ కేస్ డిజైన్ టెక్నిక్స్ గురించి అడగడం లేదు. ఓకేనా, దీని డెఫినేషన్ అడగలేదు. I am asking you what is meant by boundary value analysis alone.
Minus value, negative, plus values.
We will focus on boundary values here. Is it?
Sir?
We will just focus on boundary values here in test case design. I mean, boundary value analysis. Avuna? Min and max values untayi, and that will be added and subtracted with one number. Okay? That will be done in the boundary value analysis. So One more question. What is meant by test case design technique? Where is this here? Nitin. ఉన్నారా లేదా నితిన్? మైపాల్. So what is meant by test case design technique? Uma. What is meant by test case design techniques? So good.
టెస్ట్ డేటాని ప్రిపేర్ చేసడానికి యూస్ చేసే టెక్నిక్స్.
మీరు ఒకటి చెప్తే సరిపోదు కదా. So we have test case template here and requirement traceability matrix. What is meant by requirement traceability matrix? If you guys would have attended the STLC means, then you will come to know what is meant by requirement traceability matrix. I clearly explained you what is meant by RTM. What is meant by RTM? ఇక్కడే ఉంది కదా, used to map the test cases with the concerned requirements or user stories. That will be known as that is known as requirement traceability matrix. Usually we will be documenting that in this format. Okay, one is test case ID. Let's see. For 1 and 2 test case, we have one requirement only. For one requirement, we have written the 2 test cases. Okay, so again for the 1.2 requirement, we have 2 test cases, 4 and 5. Like one requirement will have multiple test cases. Okay, so for that, I mean, they need to be mapped altogether. Okay, that is known as requirement traceability matrix documentation. Okay, and already have you seen this or not? The documentation చూసినారా? Characteristics of a good test case. That's good. So test environment, test execution, defect reporting contents. Recently we have seen, right? And defect classification, that is divided into severity and priority. Priority, usually in few companies they will follow this P1, P2, P3, and few companies high, medium, low, and critical, high, medium, low. So major different names to all పిలుచుకుంటారు. Okay na? No need to worry, just look into your books. Okay na? So seriousness of the defect and priority is nothing but importance of the defect. Next, software can have low priority, low severity, high priority, low priority, different scenarios. And defect resolution, defect trace. You don't need to focus on this actually. Tips for bug report and bug life cycle we have seen. This is a bit complicated. Whatever the thing is there in your books that you can follow. And state of defects, test closure, key activities, test metrics. Test metrics also no need. Okay, that will be taken care of your leads or test managers. Test metrics is used to prepare the daily status reports. Okay, in which phase of STLC we can see the daily status report. Haripriya, daily status will report. I mean, daily status report will come under which type of which phase of STLC? Daily status report ఒకటి తయారు చేస్తాం కదా. So in which
meeting, sir?
Sorry, come again.
Daily status reporter, sir.
In which phase will prepare the daily status report?
Daily status report.
Test execution phase లోనా? DSR అనేసి మనం చూస్తున్నామా, గుర్తుందా? Daily status report or weekly status report that will be prepared in test execution phase. Is it? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, search for the books. So I will share you this PPT. Okay, I'll share to the Saag Technologies. They will share across with you in the WhatsApp group. So just go through this PPT, and tomorrow you will be having mock interview. That is going to help for 5 minutes for each student. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
And okay, only 2 answers. That's all. When from 2 persons, I'm getting answers. Everyone, Haripriya, Manjusha, I got an answer, and from others, they called a better.
No, sir.
Bhavani, Amruta also are answering the question.
No.
Okay, so everyone be prepared for the interview tomorrow, mock interview. Okay, I'll take an.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
And thank you. Thanks all for joining.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
Sir,
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
నిన్న అది జీరా క్లాస్ రికార్డింగ్ సెషన్ ఇంకా సెండ్ చేయలేదు సార్.
Sino Anna, Unnara, or Siri from Saag Technologies. Okay, I'll just ask them to send. Okay, no worries. Today's
Okay.
recording and yesterday's recording along with the PDF which we have gone through. Okay, no worries.
Okay, sir.
Okay, bye.